Hello there, my friends. Welcome back, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time. Having an introduction is something that I've never really been very good at. I generally just say hello, how you doing? And I was thinking about how it seems that some people just have it together. They've got a good intro to their channel, and this isn't about YouTube. Just need to give you that, side note. This is metaphor here. You've got a guy with his YouTube channel, seems to be a phenomenal intro, a great outro. He's got a lot of patrons, a lot of subscribers, whatever a person may think is desirable. They have great content where they go out and explore the world. They're always doing something. They're always excited. They have all these women around them, if that's your thing, or guys around them, if that's your thing. But the point is that this person, this hypothetical YouTuber, which back in my day would have been the actor or the musician, right, with all the groupies. The idea that this perfect person has a life that is worth aspiring to match. You see a person that appears to have it all, and you say, this is how this person achieved this. Now, this is why when I was a kid, people went down to Hollywood to try to be an actor or to be a musician. And how many hearts were broken and how many great, artists were made in the same way by traveling to this place called Hollywood and hoping that you could make it big. Fast forward 30, 40 years here, and we have a completely different world where you have to aspire to become an internet celebrity to get anywhere in today's world. This could be a stranger who just starts off by writing a great song, doesn't know anyone, the song goes viral. These are the kind of the success stories. A great musician who gets recognized, or a great actor or actress who gets noticed by making their own videos and starring in their own videos. These are the success stories we desire. Yet something happened with the Kardashian era. The best term I could come up with for it here off the top of my head, but the idea that people got famous just for being famous. They might be famous for just being beautiful or being on a sex tape, or they might be famous just for being ugly or having a horrible singing career, or somebody gets launched off of, The Apprentice, or one of these stupid fucking television shows that have just been so absurd from the beginning, yet a majority of society obviously thinks these things are so grand because they've continued to, who knows how many seasons some of these shows have been on. The Voice, or the other one, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or Who Wants to Be a Star, or any number of reality shows that started with the real world, which were never really real in the first place. But this is all bringing me to the point about young men and this desire to match what they see on the screen. The Andrew Tates of the world, right? The people who sit around smoking cigars in their bathrobe with sunglasses on indoors. And to a guy like me, when I look at a man like that, all I can see is insecurity. There is absolutely no degree of confidence in a man like that, any more than a con man or a confidence man in that way. A con man convincing you that they are secure with who they are. And the way that this is so obvious is whenever somebody calls out a person like this, or tweets something about them, or I guess it's not Twitter anymore, it's X now. If somebody X's somebody, I won't get into that, about somebody, people like Andrew Tate will just run to Twitter to defend themselves. They'll post pictures of themselves, stories, explanations, justifications. Now, to each their own. But when I was younger, even when I was a teenager, learning about what it means to grow up as a man in this world, and the little my dad was able to teach me before he passed away, was that You make your own way and you decide who you are, and you don't let other people dictate what it means to be um, a man, I guess, in that sense. Um, sure, you need to be able to do a little heavy lifting. I mean, there is a certain, I think that today there's a lot of folks have moved so far away from that idea of what being a man meant, 100 years ago, that they've completely forgotten that part of being a man still means you can smash a raccoon over the head with a bat if it's attacking your dog, or it still means that you can deal with death without crying like a baby, or handle a crisis when your family or your friends or your group or your community depends on you. Be able to think clear headedly and just take a deep breath and deal with the situation. There is kind of an illusion of the stoic man, the man who's never bothered. It's not something I would want to become. I don't want to be a guy who's never bothered. I don't want to be a guy who's not emotional or that can't react to things. I want to be a guy who can go, oh shit, and then keep my emotions in check. And this means to me like being real in the feelings that you have, in the discussions that you have, being able to be vulnerable but set boundaries. I think those are the keys right there. Being vulnerable just means that you don't have to always be sitting around with sunglasses indoors in a bathrobe smoking cigars. You can actually sit around in sweatpants and just be like, hey, I'm a dork sometimes, and that's okay. But it also means if somebody steps over their bounds, you don't just take it and be like, oh yeah, I'm this or that or whatever you say I am, but rather, no, this is who I am. I stand up for myself. I stand up for me as a man, as me, and as an adult, as a human, and I refuse to tolerate the kind of bullshit you're giving me or saying to me or whatever it might be, because it could be something someone says, something someone does. You might have someone in your life that treats you like a child, treats you like a jerk, tells you how to live your life. There are so many different external bullshit that comes down on us. And my kind of rule is to not let anyone else tell me what it means to be a man, be a human, or an adult, or how to live my life. I'm willing to compromise with those I love. Say my wife, for example. She's about the only one I compromise with on that front. That there are some personality traits I need to go, whoa, I don't want to, allow my personality traits to, come off the wrong way to the one I love. But when it comes to other family members or friends, I've learned to just put myself right where I am and say, this is how I feel. And if you don't accept me for who I am, I'm sorry, but we can't be friends, or, just deal with it. Whatever, it's your problem. Fortunately, I still have friends, even after doing that. And, I've got a good heart. I try to be the nicest person I can, but I would like to be a better man. I would like to be a better human. And I think that there's no good man on earth who doesn't want to be a better man. In the sense that if we think we've finished or we're done improving and we've become the perfect, most rounded specimen, we've failed already. So just remember, it's not what we're told. Being a man, and just the same as being a woman or being an adult, being a human being, you don't have to feel the way other people tell you to feel, but just follow what's in your heart and move like the river. Talk to you next time. Have a wonderful day, wherever you may be, whatever you may be doing.